love seeing a powerful woman go on national TV and say, fuck.
I know.
That is just some real power.
Yeah. Our third season of Clack is sponsored by Portland Gear, creators of unique, high-quality products inspired by the heart and soul of Portland. Go check them out.
Welcome back, everybody.
Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey. We have quite an episode today.
We have so much good stuff to talk about.
It has been such an insane week in the WNBA. I'm sorry.
Girl, yesterday was one of the craziest days in the WNBA, in my opinion.
Like ever?
I mean, like, in a freaking long ass time, I can't even think of anything that came close to that.
Just tell everybody who you were chatting with about the WNBA generally and hanging out with.
Well, yesterday I was at the Second Acts Live show with Chiney Gwumike and Sue Bird. Their show was absolutely amazing. Chiney was interviewing Sue and just kind of going through her career and then talking about like the second act of her career and, you know, life after sport. And it was done so well. Front Office Sports was behind it. Ally was behind it. And it was just an incredible show. And it was like live theater with a live audience.
Love it.
So it was just really cool to be in the back of the green room with Sue and Chiney watching the game yesterday.
I mean,
I wish that you were there as a fly on the wall just to be able to like witness and see everything. Because I knew you would have just absolutely ate that shit up.
I would have ate. Anyways, I am super proud of you. I know that was a huge event and how cool that you got to spend all that time with Sue. And I know you've met her before and you guys have interfaced in your basketball career, but I was very jealous.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that would have been so cool.
It was really special. I mean, it's like someone that I've looked up to my whole career too. So it was a kind of a full circle moment to just be sitting there watching games, dissecting the game, talking hoops, talking about her podcast.
So let's jump into it. Wait, actually, before we do, you know what we have to do?
To all our followers and listeners that are tuning in, please like and subscribe on all of our channels. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and most importantly, YouTube. Get there, do it, click, let's go.
Okay, so we're going to jump right into it. We're going to talk about, obviously, things that have been going on in the WNBA. We like to remind people that our podcast is about women's sports and also women's lives and the intersection of that. But it is hard not to talk about the WNBA right now because it's like freaking broke the internet.
I mean, it's hard for me personally not to talk about the WNBA because that's really my bag and what I do. But yeah.
I mean, and I would say of all the sports, it's the one that I'm just like most passionate about right now.
For sure. But it's the WNBA finals right now.
Oh, it's crazy.
Say less, you know?
And the teams that, you know, every game, it's just been wild. But what we don't want to do on our show is just react really quickly to a lot of things happening in the universe of the WNBA. But it's been like every day a new crazy headline. And so we've done a really intentional job talking to our team, talking to each other and saying, what is the bigger topic that we feel like we want to talk about on Clack? Mm-hmm. You know, around the intersection of CBA, injury, leadership changes, just all of it. And I think for us, it came down to this bigger topic around player protection. Mm-hmm. And what does that mean? So there's kind of three things that we want to break down today around our perspective on player protection and what that means. The first is player protection and injury, something we talk about a lot.
Yeah.
The second is player protection when it comes to financial success, right? Like these women need to get paid to do their jobs. That is a part of protecting players.
Right.
And the third is player protection as it pertains to leadership in sports, because just like in any industry, leadership is crucial to the team winning, whether you're a sports team or you're a team in a major organization.
Yeah.
And there has been a lot going on in the leadership space, whether it be the front office, the commissioner, coaches. It's a lot to unpack. So those are the three things we're going to talk about today.
Love that.
Should we jump in?
Let's jump in.
I know this topic is so important to us, injury.
Okay.
So Jack, I talked about this on our Instagram as a new fan. I feel like every game I watch, there's two things. Like I'm holding my breath the whole game. One, thinking, are one of these players going to go down and get an ACL injury or some crazy injury? Mm-hmm. The second is, these refs are whack. Like, obviously, you were in the WNBA. You were a coach. Can you kind of talk about the landscape of reffing and injury and how we should think about it?
Yeah, first and foremost, I'll say you could not pay me enough to be a referee. I will say that off the cuff. That is a very hard job. It is a lot of pressure. Like, everyone is going to be down your throat at all times. Someone's going to love you. Someone's going to hate you. It's a really hard job. So secondly, WNBA officiating has gotten a little out of control, and the level of physicality that they are allowing is a lot of the noise that we're hearing right now, and it's becoming an issue. And I think that for as long as I've been around the WNBA, playing as a player, coaching as a coach, watching as a fan, it has progressively gotten worse, and they're allowing things that should not be allowed. I think in terms of player protection, obviously we've seen a lot of injuries this season, and we've seen a lot of coaches that have had a lot of major outbursts and expressing how upset they are after games. And I think for me, a very pivotal point was when I was at the WNBA finals last year in New York and Minnesota, game 5 in New York, witnessing that game and seeing how the referees really, really dictated what happened in that game, to me, was where Nafisa Collier's frustration really, really started. And I think that so many things have happened since then. But as someone who's been injured in games where the level of physicality was too high, I personally feel this, very heavily. But I will say that I do think that WNBA officiating is being told that they're doing a good job. So the reason that they aren't changing anything is because they're being told that they're doing a good job. I think that there is a massive problem there. And I think that at some point they're going to have to listen to players and listen to coaches and actually do something about it and figure it out and figure out a different style.
Yeah.
Because I think when you look at the NBA side, right, I think there's some inconsistency in reffing on the NBA side. I was actually talking to the general manager of the Portland Trail Blazers, Joe Cronin, about this, and their complaints on that side is the inconsistency and just the lack of awareness. Every league has their own set of issues, but I think for sure on our side, like, if these players are not going to be safe while playing and not have referees that are going to have their back and call fouls when they need to be called, it's just going to continue to get out of control.
Yeah, and I thank you for breaking it down that way. That was so helpful. I'm just so curious because when you're watching something new and you're just trying to figure it out and it's really intense and there's so many elements to it, it just helps so much to hear it from an expert, someone who can really kind of peel back all those layers and the context. Oftentimes I feel like with sports reporting, context is missing.
Yeah.
At least in the social space. I'm like, people just pop off about stuff, and I love you just have such a balanced approach to how you give feedback about this kind of stuff. But I think also, and we've talked about this many times on the show, women's health and the lack of infrastructure there. And we know women get injured at a higher rate. We know the product of women's basketball continues to get better and better, and it's more physical. Like, it just puts even more emphasis on the importance of paying attention to that.
Yeah.
I mean, literally all of the starting roster basically of the Indiana Fever was out this season. Yeah. And they're truly a Cinderella story to me in that they're like what they've accomplished, and Kelsey Mitchell, another MVP for me this season, watching her in the last semifinals game and watching her go down. And it sounds like it's not as bad as maybe it looked on camera, where it was like a stretcher was rolling out. And I'm like, I'm like, no, Kelsey, no.
Total freak out.
Because I truly think she's one of those players that carried Indiana this year.
Yeah.
And definitely deserves a ton of credit for that. And to go out like that, it just was like, but also just like, what a superwoman,
Absolutely.
I mean, I think that's a good perspective. And I hope people listening kind of understand that this is a very layered situation. It's highly matrixed. And, I think the more we talk about it and the more pressure we put on, the more fans that come in are talking about it, hopefully there will be some change.
Yeah. I mean, these players get banged up day in and day out, and now like they're playing more games. There's less time to rest in between. And like you said, resources into, recovery and things like that are so necessary, and more research in female bodies and all of that. Like, that is like what we talk about all the time. That has to be a need moving forward,
Absolutely. I mean, not that I'm anywhere close to a professional athlete, but I hadn't had a massage in months, Jackie, and I finally got one on my birthday. I told you about it.
Now I'm so happy,
and it
for
felt
you.
so good, and it just reminded me of the importance of just taking care of my body.
Yeah.
physiological needs. My husband always says to me, Lauren, you are not taking care of your basic physiological needs. And so, again, when you put women in these like very high impact performance situations, it just continues to elevate the importance of knowledge and support and true protection. Mm-hmm. So moving on to player protection as it pertains to finances. Obviously,
it's a big one.
It's a big one. It's what the whole internet is exploded on right now. And honestly, this has been talked about for probably since the beginning of the WNBA, frankly.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've talked about it on certain episodes.
We've talked about it too, but, I think there was an inflection point this week with Napheesa Collier going on that press conference and specifically calling out the commissioner, Kathy Engelbert. But before we get into that, Jack, I want to just remind everybody of the context of why this is happening and why these athletes are coming out and being so direct about their feelings related to the CBA or the collective bargaining agreement. Can you just give everybody a quick recap on what is CBA and what is happening right now with the CBA?
Yeah, so the current CBA, which is the collective bargaining agreement, it expires on October 31st. So there is a very pressing need for the players and the league to come to some sort of conclusion or just some sort of meeting point that feels fair for everyone to start renegotiating the new CBA. And there's a lot of pressure on both sides. It's the players and the WNBPA, the Players Association, basically versus the league. There's a big meeting that's coming up on October 9th. And as it stands today, it seems like everyone's pretty far off from the mark. So if we don't come to an agreement by the 31st, and then moving forward, there is a high chance that there's going to be a lockout. Whether that happens or not, we don't know, but that's basically what's going on. And that's why, the stakes are really high right now.
Yeah. And this has been happening for a long time and building up for a long time. And I think with the kind of explosive growth of the WNBA, explosive viewership, fans, $2.2 billion Disney deal, there's a lot at stake here for the future of the league and protecting the players and really finding how to move forward successfully together is more important than ever for the WNBA. So thanks for that explanation. I thought it was great.
I got you.
So just kind of telling everybody again, highly recommend go Google Napheesa Collier's press conference after semifinals.
Yep.
I want to ask you first, Jack, what was your feeling after you listened to it?
Yeah, I mean, my jaw dropped. I was with other people and we were listening and trying to absorb everything. And obviously there was a lot there and a lot was said. And I think that I had to rewatch it probably 20 times because I was just like reacting every 5 seconds to something new that she said. I mean, first reactions were just like, wow, oh my gosh, like let me sit with this for a minute. Let me see like what's the bigger message here and what are we trying to get out of this? And then all of a sudden you just start seeing a flood of posts of people reacting to her statements. But I think that she just made obviously very, very bold statements publicly and directly at the WNBA commissioner and leadership at a league level. And I think that caught a lot of attention, as we know, and it's like it's what everyone's talking about right now. So high level, I was extremely shocked. And as a former player, there's obviously a lot to unpack and consider here. But I'm curious to hear what your initial thoughts were.
Yeah, I mean, I think, look, anytime I see a woman speaking out publicly so bravely and just saying it how she feels it, it hits a chord with me in a way that it's hard to explain. I fundamentally believe, women's voices have been suppressed, even with many, many rights or acts that have passed to help create equity and opportunity. But I think there's still so much oppression, just based on even how women exist in the world and what we're expected to be or do. And I really think women's sports, especially the WNBA, is completely changing that and helping more women, even like me, who are not professional athletes, find the courage to speak out. Yeah. And to have the confidence to say what's on your mind.
Yeah.
And that's what leadership is. And I want to call out and say, Napheesa, like, I'm with you, girl. Like, I will be replaying that press conference in my head forever because it was so brave. It was so bold. And it's not like Napheesa was just coming out of nowhere. This is a woman who is a mother who is an incredible athlete, who it was a rookie of the year, who's broken records in the WNBA, who has become a founder in Unrivaled and raised millions of dollars and created equitable opportunities for players, who's also a VP of the Players Union. I mean, this is a woman who does so much in the league and outside of the league. And so if there is anyone to come up and say, this is what's up and everybody needs to listen, I was like, this is it, mic drop, you know? And
I thought too, what I really liked was the unity within the players, right? And I think that is really something to talk about, because anytime a player stands up for something that they believe in, you have an army of other women that are right behind them. And you saw a lot of players, whether they tweeted something, whether they publicly said something after a game. I know Asia Wilson, that's what she said was something that really captivated you and caught attention for you. That to me is what the WNBA is all about. And it takes me back to the bubble season in 2020. We rallied, all of us together in that bubble, and stood for some, very important issues that we all believed in. So it's a very powerful league. And I think it sets a standard across so many other different industries.
absolutely.
And I think the directness of Nafisa and everything that she said, it's like we're waiting to see what the response was, right? And I think the response was very underwhelming.
Would you like me to read it, Jackie?
Why not? Let's fire it off.
Okay, so we're going to just quickly read the response from WNBA Communications, which would not want to be on that team right now.
Yeah.
Just saying. And this was Kathy Englebird's statement. I have the utmost respect for Nafisa Collier and for all the players in the WNBA. Together, we have all worked tirelessly to transform this league. My focus remains on ensuring a bright future for the players in the WNBA, including collaborating on how we continue to elevate the game. I am disheartened by how Nafisa characterized our conversations and league leadership, but even when our perspectives differ, my commitment to the players and to this work will not waver.
Yeah, I mean, there's no accountability in that response whatsoever. And that's the part that I think really upset a lot of people. And I think when you're the leader of a league, like, accountability and taking ownership is so important, and there just wasn't that.
It's really tough. And for me, because I was in corporate America for so many years and I worked in crisis comms, and I've worked in PR for many years, like, it was a classic cut paste from like Crisis Comms 101, but from like 1999. And so there's a lot, I think generally, I mean, this is a much bigger topic, but I think crisis comms and communication needs to evolve, especially in the media age, new media age, because sometimes not saying anything is worse than saying something, in my opinion, a little over the edge, a little like more unexpected.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's really underwhelming to see leaders not take accountability. I mean, this happens all the time in corporate America, okay? All the time.
Yeah. And last thing I'll say on this topic, it's so evident that the agendas of the league versus the players are so very different. The agenda for the league is to make this league a profitable league, right? And to be a profitable business. And the players want to see the earnings that they deserve from the profits that are made because of them, right? So we're just on very different pages. And I think it's really, it is just like crazy right now. Let me just say that. I'm just going to stop there.
Needless to say, I think the internet will continue to respond to this. And I think, again, we would encourage you all, before you just go say something, please do your research. Go listen to former players. Go listen to talk shows with people that really have context here, because it is a very, very complicated situation.
I love that. It's so layered,
So layered.
And even us right now, it's not like we unpacked every single thought that we have talked about, but I think high level people can understand where we're coming from this one.
We'll leave this topic by saying, Fee, mic drop, girl.
Yeah, Fee. Agreed. You did that.
Mic drop. All right, so let's move on to player protection as it pertains to leadership and coaching. So in addition to all of the things that have been going on that we've just talked about, there have also been a ton of changes at the leadership level within the WNBA.
Yeah.
Very iconic coaches getting, I don't know if we want to say fired, but basically
their contracts are not being renewed.
Correct. Their contracts are not being renewed, which everybody just goes, they're being fired. But, again, layered situations here. We know that the coaches play such an important role in this. And player protection, standing up for their players, making sure their players perform. Like, it's all part of the job.
Yeah.
I mean, Jackie, you were a coach of the Liberty.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably also one of the hardest jobs you could do. Don't you think?
It's tough for sure. But yeah, I think that we've seen a lot of head coaches this season that have stood up for their players.
Yeah.
So let's start with Cheryl Reeve. We could talk about Stephanie White from the Indiana Fever. We could talk about Becky Hammon. They have publicly gone to bat for their players. And I think that that's so important. And I think that that is how you get real buy-in and trust from your players. I think that what Cheryl Reeve did recently, look, it may have been a little out of control. Okay. She may have taken it a bit too far. But I think that that is years and years of frustration of officiating and, league level leadership that she unpacked there. And we all saw how she reacted. Wasn't the best reaction, gonna reiterate that. But I think that what she did, if I was a player for the Minnesota Lynx, I am going to play my absolute butt off that next day. And I think her players did that, and they almost won without their star player. And that says so much about them.
Or their coach.
Yeah.
She was suspended.
Right, exactly. Kayla McBride just showed so much heart. I mean, just that team, to me, was they had a lot of adversity, and they answered really well, and they accepted the cards that they were dealt with, and they ran with it, and they did a great job. But Becky Hammon has always been another head coach that has always stood up for her players. Stephanie White has done the same thing. I love it, and I think that we need to see more of it.
I'm also just going to say, I love the F word. I've had to scale back the F word on our podcast.
Same.
I don't want to just say it all the time. But I love seeing a powerful woman go on national TV and say, fuck.
I know.
I was like, that to me is just some real power.
Yeah.
To me, she was mad. I like seeing women get mad. Live, public, feeling passionate and emotional. Sports is one of those places and destinations and experiences where you go at it with all your heart. You want to win. You want to succeed. You want to feel great. And when you don't, when you lose hard and you feel hard about it. And I don't think in this case, like she said, I can take an L with the best of them, but this is not what that's about. And so that was kind of my response and feedback to it. What I was particularly disturbed by was the WNBA's response to her by suspending her in a semifinal game, last game of the semifinals when their star player went out. I thought that was whack as fuck. Okay, whack as fuck.
Say it, girl.
And I just, with tensions boiling over, I recognize, I'm sure this is again layered, but I'm going to be a little more maybe one-sided on this one. I do feel that they could have just fined her and made that hurt through fines. But to send a statement that we're going to let your star player get injured and then we're going to take your coach away in your semifinal game, I thought it was whack as fuck.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say.
I couldn't agree more. It was BS. They should have just fined her and allowed her to coach. The stakes were too high. It was too big of a game. And I don't think they would have done that on the NBA side.
That's what my husband said. We were at the beach, as you know, we were watching all the games. And we had a long discussion about it because there was a lot of NBA fans in that group. And, I'm always going to stand up and talk about the WNBA. And we got into a big discussion about it. And all of them were like, yeah, that is insane.
Yeah.
That would not happen to an NBA coach.
No. It's whack, and it's unfortunate. And I think that Cheryl Reeve, she has so many years of experience, so many championships. She's been around for so long, and she's fed up.
She's done.
And you could see it all over her face. You could see it in the press conference. She's done. She's over it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what's next. I think just to kind of round out this section, we saw Sandy Brandello is no longer with the Liberty. We don't know where she's going to land. Noelle Quinn, no longer with the Storm. We don't know where she's going to land. Who knows what what's going to happen with Cheryl and then the Dallas Wings coach?
Cheryl will be fine. She'll stay with Minnesota. Yeah. She's been there for too long. Chris Koklana's
from the
with the
Wings.
Dallas Wings. So yeah, 3 head coaches right now are not returning to their team, right? So for me, I'm tired of seeing coaches being recycled in the WNBA. I want to see new coaches. I love that the Atlanta Dream hired someone from college. I love that the LA Sparks hired someone from college. I want to see more of that. Do I think that, Sandy Rondello and Noelle Quinn deserve a job at this league? Absolutely. I'm not saying that. But I'm tired of seeing them continue to be recycled.
Well, yeah, and then also knowing that 80% of the league is up for free agency next year, and how all the shifts are going to... it takes so long to build a good team.
Yeah, and there's going to be more teams too, so there's going to be more positions for head coaches to land. So
the reason we put this under player protection is because if you don't have good leadership, you will not feel safe. And I think all of us can feel that way when we're in a job that we don't like because of a boss. Literally, I think you could walk up to 1 out of 10 people, actually probably 9 out of 10 people, who would say they don't like their bosses.
Right.
And so, again, when you're on such a public stage like the WNBA or any sports league that has millions of viewers, the stakes for leadership just goes from 0 to 60.
Right. And then last thing I want to say is it would be nice for the WNBA to support their head coaches and to not fine them and suspend them in situations like this, but rather hear them out, understand their frustrations, maybe fine them if they're out of control like Cheryl was. But that type of reaction to me doesn't resonate. That's not going to sit well. You can't support your head coaches of each team in that way by doing something like that. It sends a really bad message.
I think this has been a very good topic. I always learn so much from you. And I think, again, you have such a balanced perspective on all of these things. And there is a lot that is going to unfold here. And we are just going to watch, and we're going to support the players. And we're going to really hope that in the end, my real hope at the end of all of this is that they come to an agreement and we move forward together. That is all we can hope for in this very divided society.
Yeah.
And women's sports is just one of those places that brings so much joy to people. And we just did a story about how a huge growing population in the WNBA are young boys.
Yeah.
How freaking cool is that?
Super dope.
Or young boys are talking about Paige Buckers and wanting to go to a Valkyries game instead of going to a Warriors game.
Yeah.
Talk about a pivot.
This is a real deal.
This is a real deal. And it's just if we don't find a way forward together, it will just be a moment, you know? And I'm sorry, that's just my perspective. So anyways, good topic though.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Good job.
So we're going to lighten it up.
I think that's necessary at this point.
Let's lighten it up. And we had kind of this idea we're just going to fire off a couple of would you rathers.
Okay.
Who doesn't love a game of would you rather?
I love would you rather. Let's do it.
Let's freaking go. Jack, would you rather play for Becky Hammon or Cheryl Reeve?
Becky Hammon, because I've already played for Cheryl Reeve.
Oh, yeah.
And Becky just seems like she's such a player's coach. She's fiery. She's direct. She's straightforward. She seems hella cool and very relatable and very personable. And she wins.
I'm with
what
it.
else do you want? She seems hella dope. And Cheryl was amazing too. And obviously a legendary coach, but been there, done that.
Also, Becky, I just every time I watch a game, I just see her because she's just got this swagger. She's so
swag.
fashionable.
Yeah.
She's got great hair. She's just really shows up with confidence. And I'm just
she's always got this stank look on her face too.
Yeah,
but it's mainly the stank look is to the refs for sure. Oh, it's 24/7 during the game.
I would love to know what the refs would be thinking. They're oh my God, tomorrow's a game with Becky.
Oh yeah, they're probably fuck. I need to prepare myself for this. No, I'm sure she's cool.
That's so good.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you rather see the WNBA raise its salary cap tomorrow or see Unrivaled score $1 billion broadcast deal?
Ooh, this one's a hard one. Actually, it's not. What am I saying? It's the WNBA salary cap. I freaking love Unrivaled, and I think Unrivaled has such a bright future. They've already, they just raised $340 million in their series round B.
Wild.
Insane.
Yeah.
Wild. But the WNBA has, they started in 1997. announced in 96, started in 97. Like, we need this league to catch up with the NBA. Like, we need, and the step one is paying the players. I mean, we just talked about it in the segment.
Right.
So that would bring me a ton of joy to wake up tomorrow and see an agreement.
I love that.
Yeah.
Great answer.
Thank you. Okay, Jack. Would you rather go viral for a no-look dime or a poster dunk?
That's an easy one for me because I can't dunk. That has never been a thing, so I can't even imagine that. But I can throw a dime with the best of them. So I'm going to have to say a no-look dime, a no-look pass. That was also one of my bread and butters. So yeah.
Love that for you.
Okay, would you rather be the face of a Skims campaign? I already know what you're going to say here. Or design your own signature Reebok shoe?
Let me think of a Skims campaign. I mean, look, I think there's so much, like, love them or hate them online about Skims, but from a brand perspective,
we love Skims.
We freaking love Skims. Like, I am here for it. I'm all about, like, investing in my confidence, and, you know, I'll wear some freaking Spanx, like, you know, and just like the disruption of the designs that come out. I love the Nike looks. I've seen some women start posting in it, and I'm like, damn, these are fire. I need to go get. It's the first thing from like Nike women in a little while that I've been like, I need to go to get this right now.
Yeah, I love it too.
It's so.
I would never wear it, but I'm like, I still want to get one.
I think we should go to the employee store and do a fashion check. Yeah, just the two of us.
I'm here for it.
All right, Jack, should we move into our favorite section that we haven't done in a while?
Absolutely.
Air balls and slam dunks.
These things.
I know, these were like our earliest idea for the show.
Yeah, it's like, I love it. It's so fitting. I will start with my air ball. I always like to start with my air ball. Not a big deal by any means, but it's starting to rain here. And for me, I'm just like, I feel like summer just like was here, you know, 5 minutes ago, and now we're stepping into that rainy season here in Portland, which is fine, and that's the reason why it's so beautiful. But I think I just like have to shift my mind a little bit. It's not, like I said, not that serious, but I'm like, okay, here we go.
I know, but you're like a Portlander now, Jack. You got to embrace the rain.
No, and that's the thing. Like, I'm not affected by it. Like, it's not like it puts me in a bad mood or I'm sad or anything because of it. But it's more just like my walks are going to be very different. My walk and talks are going to be different. I'm not going to have my shades on. I'm not going to be in a cutoff. You know, I'm going to be out there like with my hood on. Maybe an umbrella, because that's what California people do in Portland.
Excuse me. I've been in Portland my whole life, basically, and I use an umbrella.
Yeah, thank you. You're not from here. You're actually from New York, so.
Yeah, this is true. We should get you a Clack Jacket, like rain jacket for your walk.
I need a raincoat. Can we get a Clack umbrella too?
Yes, I love it. You know what? I agree with that. Although for me, I love fall, so I'm just like, bring it on.
Oh, I know. Fall's so beautiful here.
It's so beautiful.
It is.
Cool. My airball was that I lost a really good friend in a very unexpected situation, and it's been extremely hard on me. And, you know, I've been extremely blessed that I haven't lost that many people that I felt really close to. But I think especially when you lose someone who's young, who was a friend, it just, it triggers so many things for you. And I just want to remind everybody to check on your people, because at the end of the day, we can all get lost in the sea of social media and engagement and trying to do everything in our busy lives. But at the end of the day, like, our people are what keep us afloat. And I just want to celebrate her life and her, and remember all the good times we had together. So that was really tough, but I'm moving forward.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. So I'm going to switch to my slam dunk, and I'm going to bring up the mood a little bit. So the month of September for me has been really cool. It has absolutely filled my cup. There's been so many highlights. One being your birthday, of course, and we were able to celebrate you, and we went to the winery. But another, and just so many great work things that have happened, you know, I'm just very happy with the month of September in general. But one of my biggest slam dunks was that we had Stephen Chow, who's on our team, that was here for 2 weeks. And it was really cool to be able to have him here and our entire team face to face for the first time. He's been on screen with us since day one. And so it was really awesome to have him here. And I'm really grateful for the experience and just to see kind of our dynamics and how we all operate in person together. So that was definitely a huge highlight for me. So let's go to your slam dunk. Let's go there.
Okay, so my slam dunk is, I feel like I also had a really good September. I turned 37 and we had a wonderful celebration together. It was so magical. That's the best word I can use for it. And if you are lucky to have Jackie Jamelis in your life, she will make you feel like the most special person in the world.
Stop.
It's true. And it was very special. And I +1 having Chow here. That was incredible. And I think we're just so proud of what we're building with our show and our company. And there's lots of exciting things ahead. So yeah, I would +1 that September was a really good month. And I'm really excited for October and just some of the things we have ahead. Jack, there's nothing that brings me more joy than just sitting in the studio with you and talking about sports.
Oh my gosh.
And life.
I know. I couldn't agree more. It's just like, I feel like our culture episodes, I don't have to like really prepare for them too much. And it's more just like you and I kicking it in my basement.
So fun.
In the studio and just chit-chatting. I love it.
Yeah. And this is the start of many more.
I know.
So
I know. I'm here for it.
But anyways, we hope you enjoyed the episode, everybody. We just appreciate that you keep rocking with us as we put out these episodes. Many of you know, and maybe don't know, that we are an independent media company. We produce everything ourselves. It's so much work. So every fan we get onto the show, we're just really, really grateful for.
No, I couldn't have said it better. That's perfect.
All right, let's go get some snacks, girl.
Actually, it's dinner time.
It's freaking dinner time.
It's time for a feast.
It's time. All right, we love y'all.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
That was a bad. Let's do one more. Oh,
It's a good one.